controversial subjects with the facts can be tense, but we are a sub-science here to make things make sense.
So where were you the first time you heard the term digital nomad?
I actually think it was... Well, I think when we were in Colombia, I heard it like lightly, but it felt like on that... Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm looking at you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
with intention.
Okay. And on that same trip, we went to Argentina, and Buenos Aires is where I felt like I was so much more aware of it. Like
Giving also 20s to early 30s vibe / maybe you're not like trying to build your life and have kids. Like it's very...
Yes,
right?
I have some interesting stats on that though.
Oh, Slay, go off.
Yeah, some studies.
Well, I'm just going to start by saying that 4.8 million Americans are pursuing digital nomad work right now in either a full or part-time capacity.
What number did you say?
4.5 million.
I have 17.3 million Americans workers currently describe themselves as digital nomads.
Okay, whoa. Mine's from the MBO Partner State of Independence in America report.
Okay, mine, let me pull it up. Mine was from like a U of T study.
No, well, I have that 17...
MBO Partners. That's the same report.
17 million people aspire to be digital nomads.
No, I'm on the website today.
Wow, we are about to
17.3 million
absolutely-
American workers currently describe themselves as digital nomads. I mean, growing up in university these times when you're like eating these noodles because they're so cheap. It's
Yeah,
like,
I know what
I
Mr.
bet
Noodle
I
is.
need people to back me up and be like, yeah, Mr. Noodle is top choice.
That's different than going to Barcelona, which we'll talk about soon, and being like, oh, wow, you have ramen here? Oh, in Canada, we call that Mr. Noodle. That's what you said. You're like, in Canada, we call ramen. Okay, we're done. We're side noting too hard. We are moving on. What?
You take
What?
everything away from
Okay,
me.
what do you need to say about Mr. Noodle that I said wrong?
Because I'm a dumb little Canadian kid who's ignorant, and I didn't know it was called ramen until I was like in university. Mexico City is one of the biggest digital nomad cities, and people consider, like I think Chiang Mai in Thailand, kind of one of the original
Digital nomad places?
Not digital nomad, but like a place where because it's like really inexpensive, and a lot of people would go and just like work there and set up shop. And now it's like since the pandemic, even more so.
So in like Mexican beach towns in the Southwest, there was a bunch of them I was reading studies about. So the average salary of the American digital nomads moving in is 5 times higher than the average Mexican salary of those local places. So this creates I'm trying to learn about inflation. And I was like, oh, here we go. And it creates an inflationary problem because the demand is now outweighing the supply of residences, which makes sense. You're in a beach town. There's not that many places.
Yeah.
So that creates
pressure for the prices to go up.
Yes. And they've gone up so fast that the locals are then expelled from where they're living. Whereas I think a lot of people think, oh, we're digital nomads, we're helping the economy. Almost immediately in these places, it was the complete opposite. They're now like trying to figure out how to like almost have movements to ensure that
like they're protected as
because
local communities.
What happened in these 5 beach towns is that the Mexican people living there were first displaced, completely evicted, and then because the demand was so high, they started to just literally like bulldoze all the not natural, that's the wrong word, buildings to make high rises,
right,
and essentially create like
people
Starbucks
coming,
and it's like
like
and it's
basically
all
like
digital
destroying
nomad
the
influenced.
actual culture that was there
for
like a sanitized version that suits North American or Western sort of like views of community.
And it's like interesting for those places because they're so small. We'll get into like Barcelona and bigger cities because it's like obviously there's issues, but it's different when it's like a small beach town in Mexico and they actually fully displace everyone.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's not good.
It is interesting because obviously on the surface, if you think about doing it yourself, it seems exciting. And it is like, okay, this could be so